Right, so this is exactly how our clients' niche YouTube channels are outprinting seven-figure personal brands. And don't take that lightly because it's very true. And I've got results in this for you to see. This is going to be a complete breakdown of what we do, why it works, and how you can do the exact same, no matter what situation you're in and no matter what business that you're running. Now, my at is carlos.conquer on all platforms. If you have any questions, just shoot me a question. I'll answer, obviously. Now, what is this document? So this is a full breakdown of how niche YouTube channels are quietly generating more revenue than some of the biggest personal brands online. I'm sure you already know this, but I'm going to break it all down and exactly what we do. It covers why this works, what the actual process looks like behind the scenes, the results it produces, and the action steps you can take to implement it yourself or understand why working with a team that does it for you is the highest leverage decision you can make. Now, I'm not selling you, so don't worry, just stay here and you'll see. Take notes as well. So listen to every section. The action steps at the end of each part is where the real value is at. So section 1, why the biggest personal brands are losing. So let me start with something that sounds wrong, but it's completely true. A personal brand with 2,000 YouTube subscribers can and does generate more revenue every single month than personal brands with hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and TikTok. Not sometimes, consistently. And we've done this for our clients. A client that has 2,500 subscribers, we generated $50,000 within the first month of working with them through a free course. So listen to me when I say this. When you understand why that is true, you'll never think about content the same way again. So attention versus trust. Most people building a personal brand in the info space right now are optimizing for attention, reach, followers, and views. And those things feel like progress because the numbers go up, but attention and trust are not the same currency, and only one of them closes high ticket deals. What one do you want? So short form attention. Someone scrolls past your reel, watches 60 seconds off it, thinks to themselves, that was good, and then just scrolls to the next thing. So what happened there is you built 60 seconds of trust, and if they get on a sales call with you, it would need convincing from you. Now, this is what long form trust looks like if you do it correctly. Someone searches up for their problem on YouTube, they find your video, then they watch 40 minutes off your video, thinks this person gets my exact situation because your script was structured correctly, reaches out asking how to work with you. From that, you built 40 minutes of trust and they arrive to the call already sold. Imagine that. So the coaches generating consistent inbound from YouTube are not getting lucky. They built something that creates 40 minutes of trust at scale with people who were already searching for them while they were doing something else entirely. So once you make this video, you don't need to do anything. If it's structured properly, people are going to be searching your exact title and find your video. Now, if your video pops up first, once again, depends on what your titles are, depends on what your description is, depends on the packaging of your video, depends on a lot of different factors, because that's what long form does. Long form is just 100 jobs tied up in one. If you get them all right, this is what it will look like. So like I was saying, if you do it properly, someone will search up their problem on YouTube, find your video, and you will be the solution to their problem. Now, why this matters for anyone building in the info space. This is not just a problem for coaches, agency owners, growth operators, creators, and consultants. Anyone in the info space who is relying on short form content to convert high ticket offers is running into the same wall. Short form content is incredible for reach. It's terrible for conversion because conversion requires trust and trust requires time. And you cannot build meaningful time with someone in 60 seconds. And I think you all know that already. You're posting short form. It might be doing well. Most of the coaches that we work with have a big audience on Instagram, make 100% of their money on Instagram, but don't make any from YouTube. Now, the reason being is short form content is good and it can convert, but it doesn't convert anywhere near as much as YouTube does if you have them both set up correctly. And you don't want to be on one platform. You want to be on more than one, because what if your content starts doing bad? Then you're screwed. The biggest names in every single niche in the info space already know this. Look at Iman Gadzi, look at Alex Hormozi, Layla Hormozi. Every major player at the top of their niche has a YouTube team working for them. Now take a look in your niche. Look at the biggest competitors that you have. I'm sure they all have a full YouTube team managing it all for them. So they have a team that handles the research, the scripting, the thumbnails, the titles, the editing, the uploading, all of it, every single part of it. And that is not a coincidence, that's information. So for the first section, here are the action steps. Write down your current content breakdown. How much time are you spending on short form versus long form, and what is actually converting? Number 2, think about the last time you made a high ticket purchase. What was it? What made you trust that person enough to buy? How long did that trust building process take? And number 3, look at the top person in your niche. Do they have a YouTube channel? Do they have a team managing it? If yes, ask yourself why. Now, section number 2, what actually closes high ticket deals? If you're in the info space and you're selling something, the thing that closes the deal is almost never the sales call. The sales call is just logistics, and that's what you want it to be. You don't want to be selling so much to this person that gets on a call with you just because they're not sold enough. They come on the call because they're just interested a little bit in what you're selling. You don't want it to be like that. You want them to be already be pre-sold on the call. And we've actually had results and messages from our clients. I'll probably pop it up here on the screen saying, after the mega course or free course that we built for them, clients were coming on sales call and saying, I already know exactly what you offer. I already know everything about you. I want to buy. Without even getting into the sales call, they said that. Now, the real closing happens before the person ever reaches out. It happens in the content they consume. It happens in the trust that was built over time through watching you think, hearing you solve problems similar to theirs, and deciding that you are the person that they want in their corner. So now let's look at cold leads versus warm leads. The best salespeople in the info space will all tell you the same thing. When a lead comes in warm, meaning they have watched your content, been in your world, and already know what you do and already trust you, the close rate is completely different to a cold lead. So a cold lead found you through an ad or cold DM, 45-minute sales call with a full pitch, multiple objections to handle, needs convincing at every step, high effort, inconsistent close rate, starts from zero every conversation. Now, warm leads from YouTube found you through a search on YouTube, 15-minute call, they already know everything, they arrive ready to move forward, needs confirmation, not convincing, that's an important one, lower effort, significantly higher close rate, trust was built before the call even started. The YouTube content did all of the selling before the conversion ever started. By the time someone reaches out from a YouTube video, they've already decided. They're not asking if they should work with you, they're asking how. And that is the benefit of YouTube. Someone watching a 40-minute video of you. Do you know how long that would take to go through short form content to build up 40 minutes of watch time? That alone should convince you to get on YouTube and start making good content. Now, the patience problem. If this is true and the numbers prove that it is, why is almost nobody building a niche YouTube channel properly? The answer is one word: patience. YouTube takes time. It doesn't take years, but it does take months. And in a world where everyone in the info space is optimizing for immediate results, the idea of building something that takes 60 to 90 days to start generating consistent inbound feels too slow for them. But here's what those people are missing. The coaches and creators who started a niche YouTube channel 90 days ago are getting consistent inbound right now. And I've seen this firsthand. We work with clients and we do their YouTube fully done for them. I see this with my own eyes. While the people who decided it was too slow are still cold outreaching, still doing paid ads, still fighting the algorithm on short form, and still starting from zero every single month. They're just chasing clients. Now, the gap between someone who started 90 days ago and someone who has not started yet compounds every single day. Every video posted is a compounding asset. Every day without one day is a day that the asset is not growing. That's the thing with YouTube, it's the compounding effect of it. After 3 months of posting, the compounding effect kicks in and it's insane. Your old videos, your first video you posted 3 months ago is still generating views, it's still generating sales. And once again, we've seen this. Action steps for section number 2. Be honest about your current close rate on cold leads versus warm leads. What is the actual difference? Calculate how much time you spend on cold outreach per month. Compare that to what 90 days of consistent YouTube posts could be doing for you by now. Ask yourself, if someone watched 40 minutes of my content before our sales call, would my conversion rate go up? If the answer is yes, you already know what you need to build. Section number 3, the free course strategy. This is my personal favorite out of every section that we have. This section alone is worth more than most paid courses people in the info space are selling right now. So listen to it carefully. There's a principle that the highest earning creators online all understand that almost nobody at lower levels has figured out yet. Giving away everything you know for free makes you more money than holding it back ever will. Why giving everything away works. When someone watches 45 minutes to an hour of you giving away everything you know completely for free with no upsells and no gatekeeping, they do not think that they have everything that they need. And that's the common mistake that people tend to think. They think to themselves, if this is what he gives away for free, or she, what does working with them actually look like? That thought is the most powerful sales mechanism that exists in the online space. It's not manufactured, it's not a funnel trick. It's a human being genuinely deciding that you're the person they want to pay because you've demonstrated so much value for free that paying you feels like the obvious next step. So this is what a free course actually does. It targets top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and it's a sales asset. Now, once again, if that doesn't tell you enough, I don't know what will. For top of funnel, it gets found on YouTube search by people who are already looking for what you teach. Once again, this is if you do it properly. Middle of funnel builds 45 minutes of deep trust before anyone ever reaches out. Bottom of funnel showcases results throughout, plus ends with a direct CTA to someone who's already sold. And as a sales asset, it can be sent to any warm lead instead of a pitch deck, which will do way more for you. It's one video, 4 jobs and it works for you forever. So what the results are? The majority of the results you can see on the screen in this video came from free course videos. People who found a free course watched the whole thing and reached out asking how to work with the creator. No cold outreach, no paid ads, no chasing. Just content that was built properly, given away freely, and left to compound on YouTube. When we helped the creator fix his titles and thumbnails on his existing YouTube content, he made an extra $50,000 in 90 days. And I know a lot of people fake results, so I've got all of the results under this section. This was without building a free course, without changing his content strategy, without anything other than making the packaging impossible to ignore. Imagine what a properly structured free course on top of that packaging would have done for him. So here are some results: 59,000 cash collected, Arthur the developer, some WAP payments coming from YouTube, and obviously to show you that I had access to the YouTube studio. Now, every single biggest name in every niche you can think of has a free course or long form educational content on YouTube. Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzi, Layla Hormozi. This is not a coincidence, it's quite literally the strategy. Now, action steps for this: write down the one question your ideal client is asking you most often. That question is the title of your free course. List every piece of valuable information you currently gatekeep behind a paid offer. That is the content of your free course. Now ask yourself honestly, if someone watched a 45-minute of you teaching everything you know for free, would they be more or less likely to pay you? The answer tells you everything. Section 4, why titles and thumbnails are worth more than you think. Here's something that permanently changed how I think about YouTube. We started working with a creator who already had a YouTube channel. He was posting consistently. The information in his videos was genuinely good, but the channel was not converting the way it should have been. We didn't rebuild his whole channel. We didn't change his content strategy. We didn't rewrite his scripts. All that we actually did was give him new ideas, and then we changed his titles and his thumbnails. That's it. And in the following 90 days, he made an extra $50,000. Now, let me tell you something. Thumbnail designers can't do this for you. And this is what so many people get caught up in. Freelancers won't be able to do this because they don't understand conversion. All that they do is kind of like AI. You have to give it the perfect prompt for it to be able to do this. And that perfect prompt, you can't give it because you don't know either. Unless you run a long form content agency, you're not going to know these stuff because it takes long to learn each individual thing. So just get it in your head that a thumbnail designer won't be able to change your thumbnail and then 90 days later you make $50,000. But what this does show is that YouTube is a powerful platform and packaging is important. All you can change is your thumbnails and your titles and you can make $50,000. That's like a yearly salary. Now, there was no new content strategy, no new videos, no new offer, just titles and thumbnails that made the viewer feel like they had to click. And like I said, $50,000 in 90 days was the result. Now, why most people get this wrong? Most people in the info space treat titles and thumbnails as descriptions. They make the video, then write a title that describes what they made. This is completely backwards. The title isn't a description, it's a promise. And the promise has one job: to create a question in the viewer's mind that they cannot answer without watching. So this is the wrong approach. Record first, title after. Describes what the video is about. One thumbnail uploaded and forgotten. Generic design from a freelancer. Viewers think that sounds interesting, and then obviously if they think that, it gets scrolled past. Now this is the right approach. Write the title before recording anything. Creates a question they can only close by watching. 3 variations tested. Swapped if CTR, which is click-through rate, drops below 4%. Built by someone who understands conversions. Viewer thinks, I need to know what this is, and then it's impossible to scroll past without clicking. Now, why a freelance or designer can't do this? This is the thing that most people miss when they try to improve their YouTube performance. They hire a thumbnail designer or a freelancer who makes things look good, and the thumbnails do look good, but they don't convert. Because converting requires understanding what makes a specific person in a specific niche feel urgency. It requires understanding what question is already sitting in their head. It requires understanding the difference between a thumbnail that is aesthetically pleasing and a thumbnail that makes someone feel like they're going to miss something important if they don't click. And that is the big difference. That is not a design skill, that's a marketing skill. And it's exactly what a YouTube team that understands conversions brings to every single video. So the action steps for this section: go to your last 5 YouTube videos if you have a YouTube channel. For each one, ask, could someone answer the title without watching the video? If yes, just rewrite it. It could change everything for you even if you've already made the video. 11. Check the click-through rate on your last 5 thumbnails. If any are below 4%, swap them immediately without changing anything else in the video. And then 12. Find the top performing videos in your niche. Study the title formula. What question does it open and how does the thumbnail reinforce that question? Section 5. The full process. What actually goes into a converting YouTube channel? This section is the most valuable thing in this entire document because it shows exactly why most YouTube channels in the info space never reach their potential and what needs to change. Now, a quick note before this section: if at any point you think I want this done for me, just DM me on Instagram. I'll show you exactly what we would build for your channel, but let's get back to the process. So Step one, what we do, onboarding form. That's what happens when someone comes in. Why does it matter? We need to understand the creator deeply before building anything. The offer, the audience, the result, the communication style, everything. Now do this for yourself as well. Now, step number two, what we do, market research. More than 3 hours of market research go into each video that we create for our clients. Finding the intersection between what the creator knows and what the audience is already searching for. Step number three, script framework. Not a word for word script, a structure that tells the creator exactly what to cover, in what order, and why each section matters. Step four, title and thumbnail. It's built before recording. We'd make 3 variations. We test it in the first 48 hours and we swap it immediately if the click-through rate drops below 4%. Step number 5, client approval. Every deliverable goes to the client before anything is recorded or uploaded. They own the channel. We just make sure it converts. Step number 6, recording. The only thing that the client does is record. Everything else is handled by us. And then step 7, editing and upload. Professional editing, SEO, description, chapters, tags, everything that tells YouTube's algorithm what the video is about. And then finally tracking. So we track revenue per video, leads generated, conversion rate. This data makes every subsequent video more effective than the last. Obviously, if you can track each video's conversions, you can see what worked, what didn't work, and then what to do for the next video. It's quite simple. Step 1 is onboarding. Step 1, onboarding. This is the very first thing we do when someone signs with us. We send them a full onboarding form. It takes a while to fill in, and that's intentional. We cannot build a YouTube channel that converts without deeply understanding the person behind it. Most agencies skip this part or do surface level versions of it. We don't, because everything that comes after is built on top of this foundation. If the foundation is wrong, everything else is wrong. Step 2 is market research, the step that most people skip. We spend more than 3 hours per video on market research alone. Before a single word of a script is written, before a thumbnail is designed, before anything. The research is simple. The idea behind the video is everything. You can have the best script and the best thumbnail in the world, but if the video is not built around something your ideal viewer is already searching for, it won't convert. So go deep into what's already performing in the niche. Find the questions people are asking in the comments across YouTube. Identify what competitors are doing and the gaps that they're leaving. Find the intersection between what the creator knows and what the audience needs. 3 hours of research per video is the reason that the video converts. And market research, in my opinion, is the most important part. That 3 hours is the reason the titles and thumbnails work. Most creators are not willing to do this, which is why most YouTube channels do not generate revenue. If you're not working with a team or you're not doing this, you're not going to convert. Step 3 is the script framework. We don't write the script word for word for our clients to read off a teleprompter unless they request it. Then we do, of course, but that's not how great YouTube content works. The best YouTube content feels natural or conversational. What we built is a framework, a structure that tells the creator exactly what to cover, in what order, and why each section matters. So the hook, the pain sector, the teaching sections, the case studies, the CTAs, the close, all of it laid out so the creator can walk into the recording knowing exactly what to say without it ever sounding scripted. Step 4, titles and thumbnails. While the framework is being built and the client is preparing to record, we're building the thumbnails and the title simultaneously. As covered in the previous section, both are built before the video is recorded. So we test multiple thumbnail variations for every single video. We track click-through rates. If a thumbnail is not performing, we swap it. And most creators upload one thumbnail and leave it forever, regardless of performance. This just shows the patience thing that we were speaking about earlier. You need to be willing to do these things to get the conversions. Otherwise, you're just not going to get, and that's leaving significant revenue on the table, as I pretty much just said. Now, step 5, client approval. Every single deliverable goes to the client for approval before anything else is recorded or uploaded. We want our clients to genuinely enjoy working with us. We want them to feel like the channel is theirs because it is. We handle everything, but we make sure everything we handle reflects what the creator actually wants. We just make sure that it converts. We want the creator to still feel like they can post what they want to post and do the ideas that they want to do. We just make sure it converts. Simple as. Step 6, recording, editing, and uploading. Recording is the only thing that the client needs to do. They don't need to think about what to say. They don't need to worry about the thumbnail. They don't need to spend hours editing. They just record it. We handle the editing, the upload, the SEO, everything that tells YouTube's algorithm what the video is about and who to show it to. Then tracking and data. This is the step that most YouTube channels skip entirely again. And it's the step that makes the biggest difference to long-term results. We track exactly how each video performs, not just views and watch time. We track how many leads each video generates and how many of those leads convert and what the revenue per video looks like over time. When you have that data, you can make decisions that compound. You can see which type of video generates the most inbound, which titles and thumbnails convert at the highest rate, which topics bring the most qualified leads, and you can use all of that to make every subsequent video more effective, which is needed for a channel. Action steps. Map out your current YouTube process. At which step does it break down? Is it the research, the packaging, the tracking? You tell me. For your next video, spend 3 hours on market research before you do anything else. Find a question your ideal viewer is already asking and build the video around that. 15, set up a simple tracking system for your YouTube videos. At minimum, track views, click-through rate, and how many inbound DMs or calls you can attribute to each video. Now, something I want to mention is I'm not teaching you guys this. I'm kind of just breaking down exactly what we do for our clients so you guys can do it too, or work with a team that does it. You don't even have to work with me. I'm kind of just sharing everything that's worked for us, everything that's worked for our clients, and it works every single time because we found the framework. Now, section 6, the compounding argument. I want to paint a picture that will make everything covered so far land in a completely different way. So let's look at this. Person A does short form only, posts every day on Instagram and TikTok, good content, growing following. Every client requires active chasing. Instagram reel from 6 months ago is gone. It's just dead. No views being generated on that. Stops posting, leads stop coming, working 10 times harder for the same result, and they're building a job. Person B, niche YouTube channel. Post once a week on YouTube with proper strategy. Quiet for the first 90 days, then the inbound start. Clients find them from search and watch 40 minutes before reaching out. YouTube video from 6 months ago gets more views this month than when it was posted. Takes a week off, the channel's still working. Working less, earning more, building an asset. That's the benefit of YouTube, and that's my favorite part about it. You can stop and it will still grow, whereas short form just doesn't do that. The treadmill versus the asset. Person A has to keep posting every day or the leads stop. The moment they slow down, the algorithm stops pushing their content and the inbound dries up. They're on a treadmill and the treadmill never stops. Person B can take a week off and the inbound doesn't stop. The channel keeps working, the videos keep finding people, the trust keeps building, and the leads keep coming in. One of those people is building a business, the other is building a job. I'm sure you know what one. Why the biggest names all figured this out? This is why Iman Gadzi, Alex Hormozi, and Layla Hormozi all have YouTube teams. Not because they have more money than you, because they understand the compounding effect of it. Every video they post is an asset that appreciates over time, gets more views, ranks higher, reaches more people, generates more trust, creates more inbound without them doing anything additional. They're not working harder than you. They just built something that works without them. And the gap between where they are and where most people are in the info space is not talent, it's just a decision away. So this needs to be on your channel right now. Not eventually, not when you have more time. Every month you don't have this working is a month someone else in your niche does, and every day the gap compounds. If you want a team to handle everything other than the recording, such as the research, the titles, the thumbnails, the editing, the tracking, the scripting, all of it, DM me the word YouTube on Instagram or check the link below, and I'll personally show you what we would build for your specific channel. Action steps for this step: picture what your business looks like in 6 months. If you've been posting one properly built YouTube video every week, how many videos would that be? How many of them would be compounding right now? 17. Now picture the same 6 months without starting. What has that decision cost you? And then decide today, are you going to build this yourself or work with a team? Either way, the decision needs to be made now. You can do it yourself. It just takes more time. Section 7, and I think this is the second last section. Why most people will never do this. Everything covered in this document is not complicated. It's not a secret. It's not some advanced strategy that only a handful of people have access to. It's a consistent, high quality execution of a system that works. And the reason most people in the info space will never experience what has been described here is one thing: the first 90 days. The first 90 days of a niche YouTube channel are quiet. You post, you track, you refine, and on the surface, nothing seems to be happening. The views are modest, the inbound is not there yet, and because the result is not immediate, most people interpret the quiet as evidence that it's not working, so they stop. So this is what it actually looks like. Month 1, what's actually happening? It's quiet, the algorithm is learning the channel, but the videos are starting to rank. The foundation is being built. Month number 2, watch time is building, first inbound DMs are starting to arrive, and search rankings are improving. Month number 3, search intent fully kicked in, consistent inbound leads coming in, and the compounding is visible. Month number 6, every video posted in month 1 is getting more views this month than it did when it first went live, and short form cannot do that. Month number 12, the channel is a compounding asset generating inbound, building trust, and converting leads every single day. The results are always delayed, they're never cancelled. The creators you see winning from YouTube right now all went through the quiet 90 days, they just didn't quit during them. So action steps for this: commit to a minimum of 90 days before you judge whether it's working. Write that date down. Define what success looks like at day 90. Not millions of views, just consistent posting, improving click-through rate, and first inbound DMs from YouTube. Remove the option to quit. The only way to miss the compounding is to stop before it starts. Section 8, the final point. A 7-figure personal brand built on short-form content is running on a treadmill. They have to keep running or it stops. The moment they slow down, the audience forgets them. The inbound dries up. A niche YouTube channel built properly is an asset. It appreciates over time. It gets more valuable every single month. It works whether the creator shows up that day or not. One of them gives you freedom, the other one takes it away. So the decision is available to you right now. If you want a team to do this for you, just DM me YouTube on Instagram or click the link below this video. And if you have any questions, ask me on Instagram, carlos.conquer. I'll answer for free, of course. I don't sell information, I sell the implementation.